Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the Akim who are tuning into these videos. Alright, so in this lesson, I want to speak about the times that we're about to enter, Jacob's trouble. And so I have here in Matthew 24, verse 22, and it says, "And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened." And so the time that we're about to enter is going to be like a time never before. And it's going to be pretty much Esau's last go around in rulership before he goes into captivity. And if you're reading the scriptures, you get the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. You understand that now is high time to pretty much come out of Egypt. Like we're supposed to be rehearsing the righteous acts right now, and we're pretty much supposed to be sighing and crying for the abominations done down here, so that we have that mark of exemption spoken about in Ezekiel 9, because we know through the prophecies that Jacob's trouble is going to happen, and that the 2/3 of the nation of Israel are going to be caught up in it, and of the hopeful elect, as it says here, that for the elect's sake those days shall be shortened, is we're seeking, after the sheer mercies of David. That's what here at Great Millstone we strive for, and we help one another so that we can endure these trials and tribulations. So with Jacob's trouble, coming pretty much right around the corner, you're supposed to understand that that right now is the best time to seek the Lord while you can, because when we enter those times, it's going to be perilous. It's like I have here in 2nd Ezra 15, and you can read the whole chapter to get a visual, a depiction of how Jacob's trouble is going to be. And so so right now, where everything is calm and steady, is the time where you're supposed to study and get these scriptures, so that you can have your faith built up to the point where you're able to endure everything that's going to happen. All right, so I'm going to read this one more time. This is Matthew 24, verse 22. It says, "And except those days should be shortened," because and during Jacob's trouble, it's going to be Esau, doing anything and everything he can to try to harm the hopeful elect. But as we know in the scriptures, he's not going to take the hopeful elect. He's going to he's only going to be allowed to harm those that are able to endure that. And mainly he's going to be gunning for the 2/3 of the nation of Israel, because that's what the judgment is really geared for. So these days, if it wasn't for these days being shortened, there wouldn't be any flesh to save. That lets you know how bad it's going to be out here. But it says right here, "But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened." So everything, with time moving fast, and you see these prophecies, coming, faster and faster. That's really for the elect's sake, because the 2/3 of the nation of Israel, they want to continue dwelling in this place. They don't seek for this place to be destroyed. That's why I quoted that from the book of Revelation. Pretty much right now is the time you're supposed to depart from Babylon, so that when we're in those days, we have the sheer mercies of David. So this is Luke 18, verse 7. It says, "And shall not the Most High avenge his own elect, which cry day and night unto him, though he bear long with them?" So that's one of the key things that the hopeful elect is going to be doing. We're going to be crying day and night unto him, telling him about what this devil is doing and forwarding the affliction. I'm speaking about and all the wickedness and abomination. The law is not being pushed forth. It's slack, and this world is pretty much in a mourning state. And these are the things that the hopeful elect have to understand. That and that you're supposed to pray for fewer days. Like it says right here, that these days they're going to be shortened. Whether you like it or not. So that's why you have to have your mind pretty much like your treasures are stored in heaven, so that whatever happens down here, you count it all joy for suffering these afflictions for Yahweh Shai and the kingdom. We're not going to let anyone take our crown, not even our family members. I think if you read the rest of this chapter, I believe it's this one right here. It goes into the family members. I'll just read this in Luke 21, verse 15. It says, "For I will give you a mouth and wisdom, which like it says, which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay nor resist." And so, with the spirit of power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, the elect is standing up with great boldness, and that's why Esau is going to start rolling in, faster and faster, with his NWO agenda, is because he's pretty much afraid. I'll just go ahead and bring this out real quick. This is Revelation 11:11. It says, "And after 3 days and a half, the Spirit of life from the Most High entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them." So Esau pretty much sees that the Spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is dwelling upon us, and that the angels encamp round about him who fear Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. So this devil knows that his time is almost up, and that's why he's got great fear, and he's trying anything and everything to put us, of the hopeful elect, Lord willing, me, myself, and the brothers who are listening to this video are part of that number that's going to be delivered. But nonetheless, Esau is going to try to hinder that movement. He's going to try to, as best as he can, try to pretty much to chip the elect. But we know through the precepts that he's not going to be able to do that. And great fear fell upon him because he can't do anything, against us. If the Most High be for us, who can be against us? All right, so this is Isaiah 55:11. It says, "So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth; it shall not return unto me void." So when we speak in the power, we speak these words in the power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, that's a form of spiritual power, because these things that we say, people can't gainsay. They can't, they debunk us or nullify what we're saying, because what we say is in the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, which is the spirit of prophecy. And all these things are coming to pass. Just turn on the news, you can see that the famines are about to happen. You can see that the MOTB is about to be rolled out. You can see that all these nations are about to get ready to go to the Valley of Yehoshaphat, for that final war. But so when we speak, through the power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, none of these words are going out void. They're going to, I'll let the scripture speak. It says, "It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it." And there's a precept in 2 Corinthians 10, verse 4. It says, "For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal," because this is not a carnal thing. I've seen already enough of these other camps, so-called Hebrew Israelite camps, namely Sakari or ISUPK or whatever, brandishing weapons, being carnal and looking like thugs pretty much. For me personally, if I saw them, I wouldn't have differentiated that they were actually out there preaching the word, except that they were wearing their t-shirt fringes. But that just lets you know that they're carnal, and our weapons of warfare are not carnal, because what we're doing is we're speaking in the power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, the prophecies, and they're being fulfilled. But this word it's like a sword. It's Sorry, I thought it was in this precept, but I'll go ahead and read the rest of this. But this word is like a hammer that's breaking, everything into pieces. But as I'll read from right here, it says, "For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Most High to pulling down down of strongholds." So this word is really what's making things happen. It's making the prophecies happen. It's making the times move quick for the elect's sake. And it's making Esau, scared, like how I read here in Revelation 11:11. And after 3 days and a half, the Spirit of life from the Most High entered into them, and pretty much, that's when they know that their time is up. But this is back at 2 Corinthians 10 and verse 5. It says, "Casting down imaginations and that's all this place is built upon, Babylon. It's got a whole bunch of confusion. Like I forget what the person was, but brothers will know what I'm talking about when I say that she became like a person, I saw, like, I forget what her title was, but she can't define what a woman is. And that's an imagination that's going to be cast down. Once this is all said and done, the nation of Israel is going to be crowned and made kings, and then we're going to rule these heathens with a rod of iron, and we're going to push the laws out forth from the land of Israel. So right now it's just a bunch of wickedness. The law is slack. That's why it says the casting down imaginations. So when Yahweh Shai returns on the chariot, and every eye shall see them. The people who say that there is no God, fool has said there is no God. All those imaginations are going to be cast down. But it says, continuing on, it says, and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of the Most High, all this evolution, sciences, or what have you, it says, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Hamashiach. So this is what we got looking forward to, is all these vain philosophies being cast down, and you can see it happening while we're preaching on the highways and hedges, because this word is being made known. Well, I'll say it like this: it's being made known that all these Christian pastors and Catholic priests or whatever, with all these years that they've had the Bible, none of them spoke about prophecy. None of them spoke about what's really in the scriptures. They pretty much say one scripture and then go on a tangent. But the spirit of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy, and you can see that's present here in Great Millstone. All right, so, and one prophecy that I wanted to read about in this video was Jeremiah 30 and verse 7. It says, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. So this is supposed to pretty much instill fear upon you, because you don't want to be caught in Jacob's trouble. The fear of the Lord is his treasure, and that's the beginning of knowledge. So one thing I noticed with the IUIC camp, they like to say that Jacob's trouble isn't real, but they're pretty much trying to cull you from fearing Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai, when this is right here, it's in the scriptures, to warn you. And as watchmen, we're supposed to warn the people. And we know not everyone's going to take heed to that warning. But, when we're out there on the highways and hedges, we're watchmen, blowing the trumpet of a perilous time, which is known as Jacob's trouble in the scriptures. And if you don't want to adhere to it, the blood is off our hands. But it says, but he shall be saved out of it. And the ones who are going to be saved out of it are the ones that are going to have their hands clean from blood. And verse 8 says, for it shall come to pass that in that day the Lord of hosts, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck, and will burst thy bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of him. That's pretty much it on that. And so another thing with that is a precept is in Daniel 12, speaking about Jacob's trouble, the thing that we're about to enter into. You gotta understand that it's gonna get to a point where everyone's gonna be tried to take that MOTB. And Jacob's trouble is the perfect scenario for people to either trust in Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai or trust in Esau. But so this is in Daniel 12 verse 1. It says, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for all. Like it says, for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. So the hopeful elect, we want to be found written in that book. So that's why we're doing what we're supposed to be doing down here, is warning the people, fearing the Lord, and reading these things, reading the scriptures, so that we're ready in that time, so that we don't fail, in that trial. All right, so this is 2 Ezra 15, and I'm just going to read here in verse 5. It says, behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. And so you can see these things on the news already. You got people going crazy, food shortages, a lot of chicken farms were supposedly burning or exploding or something, to the point where it's starting to slow down the food uh, uh, trade. And then you can see a lot of judgment taking place. And verse 6 says, "For wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Therefore saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit." And the whore of Babylon is spoken about as a harlot that hasn't been touched. And pretty much what's going to happen is Yahweh is going to send his son Yahushai back to deliver the remnants and to destroy this place known as Babylon. It says, "Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually." So when we read the scriptures, you want to be, in this category right here, the just that complain continually. The righteous blood that cry unto him, the ones that are to be found written in the book. None of us know, ultimately we don't know what's going to happen, how it's going to play out, who is or isn't part of the elect. But the thing is, though, that a just man's going to fall, but he gets back up 7 times. So that's the mentality that you're supposed to have. You got to strive to the truth. You got to strive for the truth unto death, and the Lord shall fight for thee. And the last precept I have is here is in 2 Peter 3 verse 10. It says, "But the day of the Lord," speaking about all these times, but this is really speaking more specifically about when Yahushua returns and he shoots those thermonuclear missiles to this place. It says, "But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up." So you got all these other so-called Christian people with 501c3s. They don't really bring this precept up. They don't break it down, in its proper understanding. This is talking about thermonuclear missiles. And verse 11 says, "Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of person ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness?" Well, like I just said, we want to be in this category, the ones that complain continually for the abominations that are done down here. We don't want to live in a place where there's imaginations, where people, who are in high power don't know what a woman is. But anyways, verse 12, it says, "Looking for and hastening unto the coming of the day of the Most High, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness." So that's what we're looking for. So that's the end of this video. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem Rachak Ladash, Shalom Akim.